I was kind of thinking about how I'm going about doing everything and kind of how I sort of feel unprepared where I currently stand. I'm I know I told you in the email that I'm already signed up for the October 3rd exam, and then I'm probably gonna just pay the fee in case I don't do well, the high score for the first exam takers, and then treat it just as a real time LSAT that is a real LSAT. And if I do well on it, then great. But if not, then I could just hide my score. Um, and then really shooting for the November 7th exam as my main cake. Unfortunately, this year, as you know, there's no December exam. It's only January 16th. And today, especially, I've been toying around with the idea of, do I want to take the October 3rd and the November 7th, or do I want to take the November 7th and the January 16th and have that possibility of, if I do take the January 16th, to then apply late in the application cycle, or just wait another full year? Because I'm currently taking a gap year. I just graduated in May. Um, and I don't know what I would do. Like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll probably work in a restaurant or something until next fall, but I'm not really too sure what I would do for an additional full year. So I've been kind of thinking about that today. Um, and yeah, some advice on that, if you
Yeah.
can.
So I guess the biggest question is, do you do October and November, or November and January, or just one of those dates?
Yeah, and
So
like
how long have you
when
been
I
at it
was
for?
seriously studying, probably like a month and a half. Um, I've had no responsibility, so I've been grinding probably 6 days a week, anywhere from 6 to 12 hours a day. I know that strategy doesn't work for a lot of people, but um, I enjoy the grind. I've been grinding every single day. Um, my girlfriend just went back to school, and my brother's moving out of the house tomorrow. So all of my distractions are really gone. It's just one less person in the house, and she's away, so I don't need to deal with her and have her take up my time. So I'm probably going to be moving on to 7 days a week. I'm not doing a full 8 or 12 hours every single day. Like, I am spacing out my time. And I saw actually this morning, it was really funny. I saw your mindful meditation video that you posted, and I was just laughing to myself because before you said that, so I'm used to meditating. Like, I started doing that 2 years ago, and as soon as I really got into study mode, I found that taking 10 minutes here and there, I do it 3 times a day throughout the course of the day. Whenever I'm taking a break, I'll usually study in like 4 hour blocks. Um, and then I'll meditate before I go to sleep, and that's keeping me sane. So if anybody in this group hasn't seen that video or is stressing over studying, Steve's Steve said it, and I'm doing it. I'm a guinea pig that can vouch for his words. That the mindfulness meditation really is a lifesaver, because I would be going crazy if not for that.
Dude, awesome. I'm glad that you took that to heart and that it's working for you. You're doing it. I wonder though about that pace. I know you said you're taking breaks. You're not doing every single day necessarily, but could you maintain that pace until January? Do you think you could?
Um, do I think I could? Yeah, probably. I don't think that I would necessarily maintain that pace if I did follow through with the January exam, just because of the burnout factor. Um, I started, so initially I was going to start studying back in June, and 2 weeks into studying every single day, I was like, I'm going to burn out if I do this from June until November. So I started studying really the beginning of July, or middle of July, probably around the 17th. Um, I would probably cut back on my study hours, but still work probably 6 or 7 days a week. just because I still don't have any responsibilities. I live with my parents. This is my only priority. It's detrimental. It decides the rest of our lives, basically.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. What do you think is missing from your prep that you wouldn't be ready for October working at the pace that you're working?
I think it's nerves. I think it's the fear of not reaching the score that I want to reach. And also, I'm having all of these nerves blindly, and I haven't really taken any practice tests. The only practice test that I took was diagnostic, and I did horribly because I didn't care about it. I took it with a grain of salt. Like, I was going back and forth between taking the test, eating dinner, having the dog barking, my mom yelling at my twin brother, playing Call of Duty during one of the sections. Like, I didn't take it seriously, and I know my score doesn't reflect what I knew or what I do know now, because I know that I've learned so much in the time that I've been studying. And yeah, I guess that's really it. Just the fear of the unknown. But
How could you get over that?
change.
How can you get over it?
I'm going to take the practice test tomorrow.
The practice test. I mean, you've got about a month till the October exam.
I'm planning to probably take them either every day and then review, or every other day. I'm really fortunate that we have the Flex exam right now, honestly, because especially for review, it's a shorter test to actually take, and it's a shorter test to actually review versus if it was a 5-section test. So I'm a little lucky in that respect, but yeah, I just need to start taking practice tests. Otherwise, what am I doing?
Well, that's your answer. I mean,
Yeah.
if you keep taking practice tests and your scores are where you want them to be, then go for October. If you want to hit your fullest potential, I would guess November is a better option. And you could still apply this cycle. You talked about taking another entire year and what you do during that time. I get it. Listen, I mean, for some people, taking January would make the most sense if they could maximize their score. If that's what would allow them to reach their top score, you could still apply this cycle and it'd be fine. Obviously, it's a little bit later. Maybe chances are a little bit lower, but a higher score could offset that. But it sounds to me like you've got the time where you could hit a high score in November and maybe even October. Who knows? I mean, I don't typically recommend doing only, you said a month and a half up to this point, right?
Yeah.
More or less. All
Like
right. So that gives
middle of July.
all right. So that would give you about 2.5 months till October. And so that's on the shorter side, but full-time study changes things versus part-time study. So
yeah, it's very different. And I've learned that I can't really speak to many people and relate to them, because the LSAT, everybody has different responsibilities and different lives. And you could be working full-time and only doing a couple hours a week. If you're lucky, you could have kids, you could have pets, you could have real responsibilities that I fortunately don't have any of right now. So I am able to devote my full time to it, and I just haven't spoken to anybody. The only person who I've spoken to who did have a full, he did it in 1 month. This was probably in the late 80s or 90s. It's my cousin. He studied for a month every day for 8 to 12 hours a day and scored what would now be like a 172.
nice.
And he went to Georgetown.
Cool. Well, listen, I mean, burnout's real. So if it's working for you, I'm not going to say don't do it, but I'd also say you're probably the exception in that case, especially during COVID. It's too easy to do nothing but this because too many other things like socializing, being out in public, a lot of those are removed, at least in certain. So be careful about that. Be on the lookout for it. If you start taking exams, don't do them every single day. At least max every other day, along with detailed review is plenty. Thanks for tuning into the show. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already to be notified of new episodes as I release them. And feel free to reach out if you need anything at all as you move forward with your prep. I'm happy to help however I can. In the meantime, I wish you all the best and take care.